Well, I told you we would pump, and we pumped. So what's going to pump next? What should you buy now? Should you long Bitcoin? Should you wait for a dip? I'm going to tell you in this episode. I mean, seriously, look at this. It just went, and guess what? It's going to keep going up. Look at that. Inverse head and shoulders on. Confirmed. Absolutely confirmed. Bam, 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 bam. On my YouTube channel, I've been telling you we've been bullish all week. Look at that. Incoming. Incoming. Bullish. Bitcoin bounce. Incoming. Bullish. Bitcoin prediction. ETF pump. Can you read these things? Is my finger in the way? Bullish. Pump. Long. I even did this. Look. Remember this one? I told you Hamas invades Israel. This is like 2 weeks ago. Can you read that? Is it in focus? 2 weeks ago. I told you guys that Hamas-Israel war stocks will crash like they did, but crypto bull market. Even told you this much. And now I'm going to tell you which coin is going to pump super, super hard now. But if I just tell you the name of the coin, you're going to go, oh, I don't know. I don't know if he's right again. I told you to buy Bitcoin 12 years ago, 15 years ago. Did you? I told you to buy Ethereum, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? I told you to buy Theta 3, 4 years ago. I told you to buy all sorts of coins that did 100x, 200x, 500x. Did you? Did you listen? And part of it's my fault because I don't explain these things because I'm in a rush. So if I tell you to just buy, and even if I'm right 20 times in a row and you forget that I've been right 20 times in a row, I'm not going to be able to help you get rich. So in order to help you get rich, I'm going to explain to you why you need to buy this one coin that's going to go up 100 times, 200 times. That's my guesstimate. It's not a promise, not a prophecy. I'm pretty sure it will. And I'll tell you why. The reason why this coin is going to go up 100, 200, 300 times, I don't know, is the same reason I've been able to predict the future. You know how I predict the future? If you follow me on Twitter, and even on YouTube, you'll see a lot of charts where I talk about harmonics. And nobody really knows what harmonics is, even if you're in music. Unless you're in music and physics. If you have like a theoretical physics degree and you're in music, then you understand what harmonics is. But even then, harmonics is such a complex subject, but that's how I know whether Bitcoin's going to go up or down. That's how I know stocks are going to go up or down. It's all based on harmonics. And if I say harmonics, everyone's like, well, isn't that like the Gartley pattern or the butterfly pattern? Harmonics is everything. Harmonics is everywhere. And if you understand harmonics, it's super easy to predict the future. And if you predict the future, guess what? You become rich. It's that simple. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about harmonics and how I predict the future. And I'm going to explain to you why that's going to make this one coin go up 100 times or 200 times. Or 500 or 1,000 times. So basically, harmonics is, I'll give you 2 examples. Harmonics is when you when you strum one string on the guitar or play one note on the piano, and it sounds nice. And then you play another one, and it sounds awful together. Or you play another note, and it sounds amazing together. Just 2 notes, right? Harmonics is when, based on where the moon phase is, when the full moon is and when you can see the moon right above, you can tell when high tide is going to be on the beach or on the lake. Harmonics is when you have an earthquake off the coast of Central America somewhere, and you get really big tidal swells in Hawaii, in Southern California, in Mexico. And you can go surfing on 8-foot swells that come in every 3 to 5 minutes. They're beautiful swells. That's harmonics. But you know what else is harmonics? Is when you put those together, and you based on that earthquake in South America or earthquake somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, you know how high the waves are going to be. That's measurable. And based on the fact that there's a full moon tonight, you know how high the waves are going to be. Right? But now, what if the 2 things happen together? On the full moon, there was an earthquake off the coast of Fiji. What would happen then? You can multiply those 2 things together and then calculate how much bigger the waves are going to be and where that swell is going to head up past San Onofre, up past San Clemente, into Santa Barbara. You can tell these things through calculation, and that's exactly how I foretell the future on these charts. Now, obviously, the process is more technical. It's a lot more difficult. But that's the big picture, and it's the same force that causes two notes on the piano to sound great together or horrible. Two notes on the guitar to sound great together or horrible. But you know what's funny is that the reason why those things sound good or bad is because of discord and, dissonance and harmony. That's all it is. And everything is calculatable based on those things. All right, so what do I mean by that? Let me apply this to you. In your life, you have cycles. Just like the waves, just like the sound waves that hit you from the piano or the guitar, you have waves, cycles in your life where you're rich, you're poor. You're madly in love, and then you're super depressed. You're really happy, and then you're super angry. You have these cycles. Have you ever noticed nobody actually takes the time to write these dates down. Nobody actually takes the time to create a chart just like this and actually plot when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're in love, when you're angry, when you're mad, when you're rich, when you're poor. If you just made a chart like this, based on harmonics, you can predict when you will be rich again, when you'll be in love again. Isn't that fantastic? Isn't that weird? Just the concept is weird, isn't it? Okay, hang on. I'm going to get to this coin that's going to do 100x or 200x or 300x in a second. But you have to understand how this coin works. And it's really complex. Come on. This is the age of artificial intelligence and like brain chip transplants and figuring out that the CIA knew about mind teleportation and whatever. They did experiments in the 60s and 40s and 30s, especially since the anyway, this is this era. If you can't keep up with this stuff, how are you going to expect to get out ahead of the curve and make money? So follow. So keep up. Okay? Okay, so harmonics is about rhythms and patterns. Okay? And the funny thing about rhythms and patterns is that they're on a timetable. They're predictable. The waves, even if they change in shape, if the wave doesn't change in shape, you know exactly when the top is going to be and exactly when the bottom is going to be. But just like that high tide because of the moon, and just like that high tide because of the moon is influenced by an earthquake off the coast of Peru somewhere, those two forces mix and this wave changes direction. This wave can go halfway down and go straight back up, or this wave can go down and then go farther down and even farther down and even farther down and just keep going. But it's calculatable if you know the major factors. Now, the thing about your life is that wouldn't it be nice to know when you're going to be rich and when you're going to be poor? Wouldn't it be nice to know when you're going to find your absolute soulmate and when you're actually going to end up in a massive fight? Wouldn't it be nice to know? But wouldn't it be even better? It's like a piano where you can play one note and then you don't have to wait until the other note happens to play that note. It's not like you wait, it's Thursday, maybe next Monday, someone's going to hit the A minor key, and then my F sharp is going to sound great with the A minor key. I don't know if those two keys sound good together or not. I don't think so. I don't remember my music theory. Anyway, you don't do that. You force those two sounds to happen at the same time intentionally. You just go ding, drum, and it sounds great together. You don't wait for things to happen. Which is funny about life is that most people just wait for an event. They just wait for an opportunity. Are you starting to get what I'm saying? Don't do that. Play your life like you play the piano. If these two things work great together, or they sound great together, force these two things to happen at the same time. That's what this new coin does. Wait, this new coin, I buy this coin and it forces good things to happen in my life? Yeah. Actually, yeah. So let me explain to you a little bit more about harmonics, because it's a complex subject and you're not going to explain what this coin does. So let me explain to you a little more. Ever notice how when you're with this one person, you become super smart, you become super happy, things actually go well for you. You might actually get more successful and make more money when you're with this one person, and yet when you're with this other person, you become lazy, you become kind of jaded, you become miserable, you become angry, you become depressed, and you get fat. Ever notice how that works? And this one person that makes you fat and angry and depressed might even be your family. Might even be your mom or dad or your siblings or your best friend from junior high school. For some reason, they make you miserable and you're miserable together. And yet, this one person that you met at a conference or a bar or just at a restaurant, sitting at another table next to this person, just brought you a smile. Whatever this person said brought you a smile, and for some reason that smile made you buy Bitcoin 15 years ago, and now you're super, super rich. Ever notice how that happens? This is the same thing as hitting that A sharp note, and saying, you know what, it's going to sound great with an F flat. And just hitting those two notes together, bing, and then 3 or 4 notes and 5 notes, all of a sudden you've got a concerto. You've got a Tchaikovsky concerto. And it sounds beautiful together. What am I talking about? Let me show you. You find the right person, and that person will enable you to unlock the full potential of your life. Look at these guys. Am I not kidding you? Am I kidding you? Am I lying about this? Look at these guys. Look at them. You think Bill Gates got rich on his own? No, he had Paul Allen. Without Paul Allen, Bill Gates could not get rich. Here's Bill Gates and Paul Allen when they were younger. Together for 20, 30, 40 years. That's how Bill Gates got rich. He found the right soulmate. He found the right prosperity soulmate. Here's Steve Jobs. You know him. You think he got rich alone? No. He had Steve Wozniak in the beginning, and then when Wozniak left, he had Jonathan Ives. These guys had prosperity soulmates, prosperity partners that enabled them to get super, super rich. You only hear of Warren Buffett, but he had, for like 30, 40, 50,000 years, his business partner, Charlie Munger. I wanted to explain to you a little bit more. It's Future Coin. Go get it. I got to close the trade right now, so I'm going to do part 2 next. Part 2 of why. Anyway, I got to close this long.